What is going on, everybody? I hope you are having a fantastic day so far. I just wanted to make a quick video on an Arc Warlock build that just recently got buffed a lot in Destiny 2, and it actually brought me back to playing this game even though I haven't really been playing it since the release of Final Shape and the raid has come out. But this build in itself has brought me back because I love Chaos Reach. It's one of my most favorite supers that they've ever put in Destiny, and now it is 100% viable to use in any level content, even in-game content. So before we get into the build, I do just want to let you see what is going on in the background here. I am doing a regular nightfall, so the enemies aren't too powerful here, but you can see how insanely fast I am getting my super back just by using the Delicate Tomb, which we'll go into in a little bit here. But this gun, creating ionic traces, and with the new buff to Geomag stabilizers, is absolutely incredible. And you can get your super back in 10 to 15 seconds if you have a lot of ads around. But you can just see the quick power of this build in the background. And now that we have looked at the power of that, I will show you what I'm running, and then I will also give you a little bit of gameplay at the end, just so you can see what the gameplay loop of this build looks like. First, we will look at the subclass. Obviously, this is an Arc Warlock build, focused around Chaos Reach, like I said in the beginning. Definitely want to be running that. I've been running Healing Rift, Burst Glide, because that's my preference when I'm running Warlock. Ball Lightning, because I like the ranged melee. If you like the Chain Lightning, you can use that, but I like this one more. Pulse Grenade, because in my eyes that is the best grenade on Warlock. Electrostatic Mind is very important here, because dealing damage with arc abilities or defeating jolted or blinded targets creates an ionic trace. You are going to be getting a lot of arc ability kills and defeating targets with jolt because of the weapon that we're going to be using. So this helps you get your super much faster in combination with Geomag, which we'll talk about in a little bit. And then I'm also using the Ionic Sentry. I really like this one because we are using both a kinetic and an arc weapon, and any arc ability kills that we get allow us to get this arc turret that when you put it down blinds and then kills a bunch of stuff with a bolt charge, stuff like that. So this is really good as well. And what's nice about this is even though you're using your grenade button, it does not use your grenade, so you don't have to worry about your cooldown on whatever this grenade is. That's why I continue to use Pulse Grenade, because it's not tied to your base cooldown of this grenade. The fragments that I'm using are Spark of Resistance, so that when I'm surrounded by combatants, I'm taking less damage. That'll be good in higher end content, especially the new activity where there's not a lot of healing. That's pretty good there. I'm using Spark of Discharge as well, where arc weapon final blows have a chance of creating ionic trace. I'm just trying to build as much into ionic traces as possible because they allow you to get your super within like 10 or 15 seconds if there's a lot of ads around. Then after that, we're doing Spark of Shock. This takes your arc grenades and makes it apply jolt. That goes right into Electrostatic Mind and gives you more ionic traces that way. And then lastly, defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with bolt charge creates an ionic trace. Again, with Spark of Shock and Electrostatic Mind, you're just getting ionic traces after ionic traces, and it builds up your super insanely fast. The weapons that I'm using with this build are the Multimach. I'm not sure if it's still available, but you could get this particular roll from the gunsmith, but you can use whatever kinetic weapon you enjoy. Just make sure it's a kinetic weapon so you can build up bolt charge here. Then the gun of the build is 100% Delicate Tomb. The way that this gun works is instead of it being a normal fusion rifle, it's spread horizontally, but the main part of this fusion rifle that we are going to use is collecting ionic traces, overcharge the weapon, and jolts target on hits. And then it also has a chance to create ionic traces on kills as well. So it builds right back into the whole loop of gameplay that we're doing with the getting our super around 15 seconds. I've been using this machine gun here just because it's part of the artifact. There's overload machine guns, so that's what I put here. And I'm using my super so often, so I don't really feel like I need a DPS weapon like of the VS chill inhibitors or something like that. On my armor, I like having nice looking stats, so sometimes I put less into this area just to make my stats look nicer, but you can do whatever you want here. For here, I'm doing heavy ammo finder so that it increases the amount of heavy ammo that I'm getting from killing stuff. I'm doing harmonic siphon so I can get orb of powers to drop on the ground when I'm using my arc weapons, and then kinetic siphon as well because I have a kinetic weapon too. Here I'm just using some impact inductions to get my grenade back faster when I use my powered melee, and then I'm doing the exact same thing with grenades with my melee energy as well with momentum transfer here. On my chest piece I always go with resistance mods. I want to have them slotted in just in case I'm doing a harder activity that I need these for, so I always keep that like that. On the boots, you will be using Geomag. This increases the duration of your chaos reach as long as it's on the same target, and then collecting and creating onyx traces gives you more chaos reach energy. So this is how you're getting your super back so fast with all of the onyx traces you're creating with your weapon, with your subclass fragments, jolting targets and everything. You get 7% of your super back every single time you pick up an ionic trace, and they are coming at you like crazy, so you get your super back insanely fast, and it is one of the most fun gameplay loops I have played in a while. So you definitely need to have Geomag stabilizer on here. I put Arc Scavenger on because I'm using my Delicate Tomb as basically a primary weapon in this build, so I can get as many ionic traces as possible. I want to have Recuperation to replenish some health when I'm just running around and getting some orbs of power. This helps slightly in the new activity, but it doesn't do too much. But for general gameplay, it's pretty good. And then since I only have 2 points left, I'll use Orbs of Restoration here. And lastly, here I'm just doing Reaper and Distribution so that I can get some of my abilities back quicker and create some orbs of power mid gameplay. Alright, so that's everything I wanted to go over when it concerns this particular build here. I'm going to leave you off with a little bit of gameplay. The beginning gameplay was from a regular Nightfall, and the enemies aren't very difficult in that. So here at the end I'm just going to put some of the new seasonal activity. I am not the biggest fan of it just because of how all the healing and stuff works in this game mode, but I wanted to put some gameplay in here just to show you that this build can absolutely destroy stuff in this harder content as well. So let me know down in the comments if you like this build, if there's anything that you would change about it, and if you haven't been playing Destiny like myself, if this build is bringing you back to the game, because for now it is for me. I don't know if I'll be bringing it into the day 1 dungeon, but we will see about that. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of the gameplay, and like I said, let me know in the comments if you are rocking this build at the moment. Other than that, I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you in my next video.